I've been seeing more and more people make videos about critical thinking, saying you should think critically and that even the guys on some improvement, that some improvement made you a bot again, like a sheep again. And for some reason, I can't really agree with that advice because I think to a certain level, my opinion, I'm just going to go straight to the point. In my opinion, if you're not really content, or I wouldn't say content, I would say you're not really proud of where you are in life, of what you've achieved so far, then your brain just doesn't have the answer. That's a simple fact. In your brain, then you're simply ignorant. If you're in a state of life that you're not really proud of, it's your fault. Like it's not anybody else's fault. If you had put in the work, enough work in the past, and you had done the right things, you had taken the right decisions, you would be probably proud of your life right now. But it's because of your actions, the decisions you made in the past, that you're now in the state you are in right now. So I think it's simple to say that if you're not proud of your life, or proud of where you currently are, it's simply your fault. And you probably don't really have the answers. So I think finding someone where you look up to, who's achieved way more than you, that you really, really respect, who has achieved success and is better than you in probably every single aspect of life that you really aspire and improving in. Every single aspect of life, every single endeavor that you really wish to become great in. If you find someone who's better than you and that you really look up to, and then you just copy them and then you just listen to what they say, you'll see YouTubers, authors of different books, you'll see them give amazing advice about things like how to achieve what they've achieved in their own lives. You see salespeople who make amazing books on how to become a better salesperson. See fitness influencers that will give advice on YouTube about how to become as jack as them. You'll see businessmen write books about how they became millionaires or even make YouTube videos about it. So I would recommend you to find one person that you really respect, one, and you really focus on learning from them more than anyone else. You focus on taking their advice more than anyone else's advice. You find one person that you really, really look up to, that you really, really, really respect, and you just follow their advice religiously. You don't, when it comes to that person, don't think critically because your brain just accept that if the person, if like you see some people, even myself, as I recognize myself doing this sometimes. You see someone who's maybe a millionaire who makes a million times more money than me, and he would give me some advice on making money, and I will sometimes my brain would disagree. And does that even make sense when you really think about it? He's achieved way more than you in a certain area, but you still think that's a good idea that you still somehow think that you know more than him when it comes to that. So they will give you advice on how to make more money, and you will question it. That makes no sense when they've achieved more than you in that certain area that they're trying to give you some advice in. It makes no sense to question it when they're so much better than you in a certain area. They don't have to be better than, if you're worse than you in other areas, it's okay. But if in a certain area, maybe it's business, that person obviously knows more than you. That person obviously has achieved 100 times, 1,000 times more than you. Then listen to them. Don't just assume with this arrogance, this like this unjustified arrogance, unjustified ego that you know more than them because you don't. If they've achieved more than you, then they somehow are better than you in some areas. So when you see an influencer question give you advice on how to get girls, and you know obviously that he gets more girls than you, listen to what he has to say. And stop assuming that you know more. Go more to the other side. I always assume if he's better than you, if he's proven to you that he's better than you in that certain area, and you know for sure, yeah, he's way better than me in that area. When he gives you an advice, always start off by assuming that he's giving you, that he knows more than you. It's not like impossible that we give you some advice that's not really helpful. It's not impossible. It's still possible that we will give you some advice that really isn't that helpful. But most of the time, if he's achieved more than you, if he's better than you in that area, then he somehow knows more than you. Then he makes some decisions that you don't make. Then he has a certain mindsets that you don't have. Then he has certain skills that she mastered that you are far from having mastered yet. So stop having this unjustified ego, unjustified arrogance that you will somehow know more than them. That you somehow know more than millionaires, even though you don't even turn $10,000 a month yet. That's something I've noticed to myself so often. I'll see people that know more than me, that obviously have achieved so much more than me in certain areas, and I would question their advice. I would just assume, I'll say, no, that wouldn't work. How would I know? I would just assume that I know more than them, and that makes no sense. That's purely stupid. I think critical thinking, yeah, it's helpful, but also have logic and have humility and think to yourself, yeah, the beliefs that I have gotten me to where I currently am in life. The skills that I have got me to where I currently am in life. The mindsets that I have got me to where I currently am in life. The knowledge that I have got me to where I currently am in life. And if you're not proud of that, if you're not super proud of your life right now, then you simply need to learn from other people. Even if you're proud of your life, you need to look up for that person who's even higher, who's achieved even more than you, and learn from them. Even the most successful people still learn from people that are even more successful than them. Stop just assuming with this unjustified ego, unjustified arrogance that you know more than them, because you just simply don't. You simply don't know enough. You simply don't even come close to knowing as much as they do. So put your ego to the side. Be humble. And assume that if he's more successful than you, way more successful than you in a certain area, then he certainly knows more than you in there. And stop assuming that you somehow can somehow determine if what he says is right or wrong. So like I said, find one person. I would really recommend to really focus on finding one person. Of course, you can learn from other people, but I would say find one person that you really look up to that has achieved everything that you want to achieve. That was a life that you really find close to being perfect for you, and copy them religiously. Like, learn from them, listen to what they say. For example, for me, it's Hamza. I really, when he says something, I really listen, because he's achieved pretty much everything that I want to achieve. Every goal I currently have, he's achieved that. And that's why he's better than me in every single really important area of life that I really like aspire to improve in. So that's why when he gives me advice on certain area, when he gives me advice on business, on building muscle, on getting girls, on improving my social skills, I listen, because I know he's better than me in those areas. And he tells me I should learn, I listen, because I know he knows more than me, because I know he's achieved more than me, because I know he has more, a vaster array of knowledge than I do. So yeah, it was a little bit of a rant. It's just, it sometimes pisses me off. even as I even see this trait in myself of just having this unjustified ego, thinking that I know more than those people or they're millionaires when it comes to making money. It makes no sense. Just be like really if you just think logically, you would realize that yeah, it makes no sense that I try to that I assume that I know more than them even though they've achieved more than me. Stop that. It's just dumb. Of course, question like when critical thinking is helpful when it comes to listening to the advice that people give you when they're not really that successful yet. When you get advice from people that are not really successful that you don't really look up to, then yeah, question that. When someone who you don't look up to that you don't want to emulate gives you advice, and yeah, question, think critically. When it comes to someone who's achieved way more than you that you really look up to, I think it's just stupid to question it. Just at least try what they tell you before even making building an opinion of it. So yeah, don't worry if it's comfort, chase it.